Good morning, students. Yes, last class we discussed about up to last class indicate how to measure indicate power, how to measure brake power, how to measure frictional power. Once you measure these three, how to calculate the efficiencies. It's maybe mechanical efficiency, indicator thermal efficiency, brake thermal efficiency, specific fuel consumption, indicator specific fuel consumption, brake specific fuel consumption, and the relative efficiency, volumetric efficiency, and the heat balance sheet. The input is chemical energy, output is mechanical energy, brake power, heat equivalent. Reminding where the losses are taking place by the cooling system, by the exhaust gas, or by the unaccounted losses. The unaccounted losses are radiator fan, lubricating, lubricate oil circulation pump, or cooling water circulation pump. These are the unaccounted losses. So balance sheets, how the if I am increasing speed, how it is varying, which loss is increasing. I am increasing the power output, which loss is increasing. The sheets, heat transfer sheets, balance sheets also we discussed. So today's class we will discuss the exhaust gas analysis, emissions from the internal combustion engines. What are the emissions which are coming from the internal combustion? That is first important. And which emissions are harmful emissions. Once I know what are the emissions coming from the internal combustion engine, then we will move to the which emissions are harmful emissions. So first one, the emissions which are coming from the internal combustion engines, first of all N2, nitrogen. Why? Because oxygen contains, sorry, not oxygen, air. Air fuel ratio is entering inside the cylinder, or petrol engine or diesel engine, air only induced inside the cylinder at the suction stroke. So air contains 77% of the N2, nitrogen only. So exhaust gas highly contains nitrogen, not other pollutants. 70 percentage is nitrogen only. So N2 is there in exhaust gas means common. There is no harmfulness. Second, carbon dioxide. In the carbon dioxide also it is not harmful. Complete combustion it is a breathing breathing input for the plants. Carbon dioxide, but it is affecting greenhouse effect, that secondary. If very good plantation, CO2 also not harmful gas. Next, H2O, water, water vapor. You can notice this one when engine is off condition after running off 60 kilometer, 50 kilometer. From the silencer, water droplets, condensed water droplets are coming. Notice that one. That is not oil. If H2O is coming, what is it means? Means exhaust gas temperature less than 100 degrees. Then only condensation of the vapor will take place. If less than 100 degrees means more energy we are using. The loss, the exhaust gas losses we are reducing. If H2O is there in exhaust gas, if N2 is there in exhaust gas, CO2 is there in exhaust gas means it is very good. So engine is running at a good condition. It means engine is running good condition means exhaust gas contains N2, CO2, hydrogen. Okay, very good. Engine is not running good condition. That much of 100% good condition. There is a 100% good condition of the engine. There is a 100% good condition of the engine only. We are getting these three. Otherwise, semi-burned fuels like diesel engine, I already mentioned. That carbon particles required oxygen, that they want to search the oxygen because it's a not homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. There, hydrocarbon, carbon monoxide are hydrocarbons. If sulfur is there in the fuel, then sulfur oxide. If lead is there, lead oxide. Particulate matters. Means the carbon particles after burning in exhaust gas, they are not settled in the silencer. So some of the particulate matters escape from the silencer and it is adding to the environment. These gases are available in the exhaust gas. These are the pollutants. Not nitrogen, not CO2, not O2. So for the remaining gases, whatever we discussed, for that we developed the norms. Okay. First of all, emissions. These all are emissions from the, suppose NOx is there. Means overheating of the engine is taking place, then only NOx, nitrogen will react with oxygen. Means overheating means proper cooling and lubricating system is not there. From by the exhaust gas analyzation itself, we can assess engine is running in right condition or not. If engine is running in right condition, the exhaust gas contains only nitrogen, only oxygen, not maybe excess oxygen is there, means only oxygen, only carbon dioxide and only water vapor, H2. Except that remaining is there means something is happen, NOx is there, means overheated engine. Or carbon monoxide is there, means complete combustion is not taking place, sufficient oxygen is not available inside the cylinder for complete combustion. So you change the air fuel ratio. You are sending rich mixtures indirectly. It is indicates we are sending rich mixtures, sufficient oxygen we are not sending. Then carbon monoxide is coming to the picture. Okay. Then these are the emission norms from 1990. 1970 generally industrial revolution we are calling. From 1980s onwards we are using automobile industry, means automobile with two wheelers, three wheelers, four wheelers. But rich peoples are needed peoples. Two generations up to 2010, automobile industry only applicable for rich people and needed people, not middle class. Needed means maybe in marketing sector working sales executives. For them it is needed because we also worked as a sales executive at that time. Managements are giving 50 rupees per day oil bill. 50 rupees, in that also we are saving 20 rupees. Now 50 rupees they are giving me, sir, we will not move 20 kilometers also. At that time 50 rupees means we are saving 20 rupees per day in oil bill also. After 2010, automobile is a luxury agent for any class. There is no need, no problem. I want to purchase vehicle. That luxury class came. Every person, at least, it's a status symbol. The minimum one vehicle, it may be two wheeler according to your finance status, two wheeler or four wheeler. Then utilization of the automobile increases means the pollution is also increasing. We have to keep the norms. So engine performance is least bothered for the Indian government. For the Indian government is major concerned pollutions. The pollutions also four parameters we are giving: carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, NOx and particulate matter. Generally particulate matter is not coming in spark ignition engines, but injector based spark ignition engines, Bose engine is there. Injector based spark ignition, there we can expect to part. Where heterogeneous mixture is coming to the picture, there particulate matter is coming to the picture. So the range, allowable range from 1991 to at present 4 wheelers means Bharat 6 is running, 2 wheelers, 3 wheelers Bharat 5 is running. So 1 gram CO plus per kilometer is allowed. Hydrocarbons also 0.1 gram hydrocarbons and 0.06 NOx overheating of the engine. NOx is coming means it is indirectly overheating of the engine is allowed. Particulate matter 0.0. Only you bar 6 I am discussing why, because at present bar 6 only allowable mode. Coming to the heavy vehicles, I already mentioned diesel vehicles. Diesel engine we are using for automobile and generation of power also, electrical generators. That's why diesel engines every time they are giving kilowatt hour, grams per kilowatt hour energy production. You can see for bar 6, carbon monoxide 0.5, hydrocarbons 0.17 gram per kilowatt hour, NOx 0.08 gram per kilowatt hour, particulate matter 0.005 gram per kilowatt hour. Coming to the bar 6, two-wheeler and three-wheelers. I am not discussing all because there is a journey is completed. At present, what is required that I am telling. Two-wheelers, two-wheelers CA engines means Enfield engines are there. Enfield vehicles are there. Compressed ignition, majority spark ignition only. The CO range 1.0 gram per kilometer, hydrocarbons 0.1 gram per kilometer, NOx 0.06 gram per kilometer, particulate matter 0.0045. They reduced for two wheelers, generally 0.005. And compressed ignition engines CO level 0.50, hydrocarbons 0.10, NOx 0.09. Three wheelers also like that. You see one difference because both are available, spark ignition and compression. Carbon monoxide range in spark ignition is high. Why? Because in spark ignition we are sending homogeneous mixture, means air fuel mixture already we have fixed it. If rich mixture we are sending by the acceleration throat, because the carburetor, different throat opening, sometimes it will come rich, sometimes it will come a lean mixture. When a rich mixture is coming to the picture at that time, sufficient oxygen is not available. That's why the chances of carbon monoxide is high. Coming to the compression ignition engines. In the compression ignition engines, excess oxygen, the air is fixed. In suction stroke, air is induced inside the cylinder, not fuel. According to your load, you are sending the fuel. Normally, off load or no load condition, excess oxygen is available inside the cylinder, so there is no chances of production of carbon monoxide. If at full load condition only, there is a chances of production of carbon monoxide. That's why you see carbon monoxide range they given less in for CI engines compared to SI engines. Okay, don't think some typing error like that. Next, these are the norms, and we will solve some problems. Then we will get a clear idea about the things. First one, find the brake specific fuel consumption in kg per kilowatt hour. I already mentioned kg per hour fuel flow rate. What is for production of 1 kilowatt power? What is the fuel flow rate in kg per hour is required? So kg per kilowatt hour, whose fuel consumption is 5 grams per second. So they given 5 grams per second, not kg per hour. So first you want to convert into 5, 5 into grams convert into kg means divide by 1000 per second, convert into hour means into 60 into 60, 3600. So finally we will get 18 kg per hour. The specific fuel consumption 5 grams per second means 5 into 3600 divided by 1000, 18 kgs per hour. Then once we know the mass flow rate, then when the power output is 80 kilowatt, means brake power is 80 kilowatt. If the power output is 80 kilowatt, if the mechanical efficiency is 75%, they given mechanical efficiency also. Calculate the indicated specific fuel consumption. First we want to find the brake specific fuel consumption. By using mechanical energy, you determine the brake power, indicated power, and again you calculate the indicated specific fuel consumption. The specific fuel consumption, first you convert the mass flow rate for determination of the specific fuel consumption. The mass flow rate you convert into grams per second to kg per hour. 5 grams per second equal to 18 kg per hour. Then the brake specific fuel consumption 18 by 18. We are getting 0.225 kg per kilowatt hour. Next, the mechanical efficiency 0.75 is the mechanical efficiency. mechanical efficiency equal to brake power by, you can see the mechanical efficiency is brake power by indicator power. The brake power 80 they given in the problem, mechanical efficiency 0.75, then indicator power is this much, 106.66 kilowatt. Then indicated specific fuel consumption. What is the indicated specific fuel consumption? Equal to 18 by 106.66 and 0.168 kg per kilowatt hour. Okay. So brake specific fuel consumption is high compared to indicator specific fuel consumption. But we required brake fuel specific consumption only. The mileage of the vehicle we are calculating based on the brake specific fuel consumption. Because, okay. Move to the next problem. Here a gasoline engine working on 4-stroke develops a brake power of 20.9 kilowatt. A gasoline engine working on 4-stroke developed a brake power of 20.9 kilowatt. A Morse test was conducted on this engine and the brake power obtained when each cylinder was made inappropriate by short circuiting the spark plug are 14.9, 14.3, 14.8 and 14.5 respectively. So this is the, based on the Morse test the question is there. So total brake power is 20.9. If I inappropriate the one cylinder, remaining 3 cylinders brake powers, like the second cylinder, like the third cylinder, like the fourth cylinder, the brake powers they given. Then the test was conducted at constant speed. Next, find the indicated power, mechanical efficiency, brake mean effective pressure. Here brake mean effective pressure means simple. This indicator mean effective pressure or brake mean effective pressure. Plan. Use the equation plan. BP equal to plan. That pressure, whatever the pressure we are using, we are calculating, that pressure is called brake mean effective pressure. I will show the calculation, don't worry. Mechanical efficiency, when all the cylinders are firing, the bore of the engine is 75 mm and stroke of the engine is 90 mm. So bore stroke they given, the engine is running at 3000 rpm. So we want to know number of power strokes. So a gasoline engine working on 4-stroke, they mentioned gasoline engine working on 4-stroke. So 4-stroke means number of power stroke equal to speed by 2. So 3000 rpm means only 1500 power stroke. Second, how many cylinders? Directly they are not mentioned. But 4 times we appropriated cylinders means 4-cylinder engine. So number of cylinders are 4. This is indirectly given in the problem. First we will determine the indicator power. This is the inappropriate. Speed 3000, diameter 0.075 meter, length 0.09. Then the indicator total indicator power is 25.1 kilowatt. Efficiency, brake power by mechanical efficiency equal to brake power or indicator power. Then we will get the efficiency is 83.3. So more the range of 75 to 90 only. Next, brake mean effective pressure. So brake power equal to plan. Brake mean effective pressure, length of the stroke, area of the cylinder, and number of power strokes and number of cylinders. Then you substitute the same equation, you will get the brake mean effective pressure is 5.25 bar. Okay. 5.25 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square you will get. 10 power 5 Newton per meter square equal to 1 bar. 1 bar equal to 100 kilopascals or 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Okay. So simple problem. Here only you are using indicated power equation only we are using for solving this problem. Why? Because they asked brake mean effective pressure. They are not asking indicator. If indicator mean effective pressure they are asking means IP value we are writing. If they ask braking mean effective pressure means BP value. Equation is not changing. That is the plan only. Indicator mean effective pressure, length of the stroke, Area of the cylinder, number of power strokes. If cylinders, number of cylinders is there, into number of cylinders. Two stroke, four stroke engine, so speed by 2. The speed and the number of cylinders 4. This indirectly they mentioned 4 times they incorporated the cylinder, so 4 cylinders. Diameter they given pi by 4 d square, stroke length 0.09 meter, and brake power 20.9 by 60,000 and 5.25 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Okay, so with this we are ending the session. And tomorrow indirectly I will solve 2 more problems, and just I will revise the definitions, equations, basic equations for measurement of the different efficiencies. Okay. Okay. With this I am ending the session.